All right, guys, we are live. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. Typically, I go live at 4:30, but I had some stuff to do. Went to get a haircut, and then from there, I was running around, getting some food and stuff like that. So, was not able to go live at 4:30. So, we're going live now. All right. So in this live, we're gonna talk about three popular financial tips that may backfire on you. I just found this. I ran into this news article, so I thought it would be interesting to go over them. So let me share my screen. All right. So it says these three popular financial tips might backfire on you. So let's see what the first one is. All right, so the first one is you can never have too much savings. It says you may have heard that there's no such thing as having too much in your savings account, but actually that's false. You should absolutely keep enough money in the savings to cover yourself for emergencies. At a minimum, that means socking away. I think they meant to say stocking away, or maybe socking, I'm not sure. Away enough cash to pay for 3 months of essential bills, and you may decide that you like to save beyond that point. They actually say six. They actually say 6 months. Most people say you should have 6 months of an emergency savings, but 3 months is good too. I guess if you don't want to put that much away. It says, and you may decide that you like to save beyond that point, say up to a year's worth of bills. Okay, so they do rectify that first statement. If that brings you peace of mind. Yep. But once you set for emergencies, don't just funnel cash into your savings account. Instead, look to start investing money. Going this route could make you a lot wealthier in the long run. And I agree with that. I think most people do save too much. Some people don't save at all. The average savings is $1,000 in most people's account. So I don't think people are saving much, but the people that do save, they are over saving and they're not investing their money. And what I found is that I need some water. Hold on. Give me a second. I just ate. Oh, the food's coming back up or what? But yeah, but I think most people that do actually save more than $1,000, they save too much money. So we need to start allocating some of that money to investing. And what I've found is that the more you save, the easier it is to dip into that account. So for instance, if you saved up to 10,000 and that money's not invested in maybe a paper asset or real estate and or stocks, crypto, whatever it is, I think it's not as easy to liquidate those assets. Obviously, for paper assets, it is easy to liquidate those paper assets, but you still have to go through a process where, as the money in your bank, you just go to an ATM or you just go to the bank and you withdraw that money. So, yeah, I think that's one of the things you have to look out for when you're saving too much money, that it's easier to dip into. Now, obviously, if you're a person that likes to save and you're saving up to 10,000 or you keep growing that amount, obviously you found the system that works for you and you're disciplined enough to keep that money growing. But I think you would do yourself more justice if you actually invested that money. All right. All right, let's keep reading. Holy goodness. All right, it says right now many high yield savings accounts are paying between 4 to 5% interest. I'm not sure what savings account they're talking about. I don't really know any savings account that's paying 4 to 5% interest unless they're talking about something that you lock your money up for. Maybe like you have to lock it up for 3 to 5 years to get it, but I'm not sure if anybody's offering a 4 to 5% interest right now. That's pretty big. But it says, but the stock market's average return on the half past century has been 10%. All right, that's true. Also, today's savings account rate are far from the norm. Even so, let's say you snag a 5%. Right. So I guess they rectified that last sentence because, yeah, I haven't seen a 4 to 5% interest rate. So Yeah, that is above the norm. So maybe because interest rates are high, like the savings for some savings account may be 4 to 5%. I'm not sure which one. But they're basically alluding to this not lasting long because interest rates are going to decrease and you probably won't be getting that 4 to 5%. Right? It's not a consistent where the stock market over a 10-year period you're going to get a 10% return, right? On average from history. History shows that. It says, even so, let's say you snag a 5% yearly return on 10,000 savings account deposit over a 10-year period. At the end of that window, you'll have about 16,300 with an average rate of return of 10%. During that time, an investment portfolio might grow your 10,000 into almost 26,000. So basically like a $10,000 difference if you actually invested that money. So it's definitely better to invest that money. I think once you get to the $10,000 figure in your savings account, you should be looking for places to put that money. All right, and this is assuming you do have your emergency savings already stashed to the side. Anything above that amount, I would say, you need to start investing that money. All right, all debt is bad debt. All right, all debt is bad debt. Let's see. It says some people will tell you that any type of debt you take on is bad news. But while it's generally best to steer clear of high interest credit card debt, you don't necessarily need to stay away from all debt. In fact, if you resolve to never owe money in any shape or form, then certain goals like buying a home might remain out of reach for the majority of your adult life. Rather than write off the idea of debt, recognize that certain debts, like a mortgage, can actually lead to more wealth. If you buy a home for $250,000 in 30 years from now, it'll be worth $750,000. So paying interest on the loan lets you not only own a valuable asset. Okay, yeah, so this is true. All debt is not bad debt. I've used debt to invest. Probably not the typical way people use debt, but you could also leverage if you're responsible enough. You can also leverage your credit cards to make investments. So debt could be used, like they said, also to buy a home. Right? You typically only put 5 to 20% down on a home, and you get you get 100% of the asset. And when I say 100% of the asset, I mean you get the upside. Not 100% of upside, but you don't have to put that much down to acquire an asset for 250,000. So, right? So you're using debt to acquire that asset. Now a home, I'm not sure like if that's the best use of debt. Unless you're buying multiple homes. But if you're just trying to buy one home to live in, I don't think that's the best thing because you need a place to stay. So, and the home costs money. So I'm not sure if that's the best. It could, depending on your situation. But yeah, all debt is definitely not bad debt for sure. All right. You can use debt to make money. You just have to be careful in how you do it. I think they're mainly talking about, like they said, stay clear of high interest credit card debt, especially now when interest rates are up. You're probably paying 22 to 25% on these credit cards if you have a balance. All right, the third one, a credit card balance can help you build credit. It's true that paying your credit card bills on time every month can help you build credit, but that doesn't mean you need to owe money on your credit cards for your credit score to benefit. In fact, owing money on your credit card is not a good thing. It means losing money to interest, right? And that is true. Unless you happen to have a 0% introductory rate, which I say all the time, it could actually cause damage to your credit score rather than help it. Right. And then they talk about the utilization. Yeah, I agree with that too. If you have credit card balance and it's something you need to hold on because you can't pay it off, that's fine. But you probably need to figure out a way to make more money to pay those balances off. But you should be paying your balance off at the end of the month. Carrying that balance you're going to pay that 22% on an annual basis. And if that balance is high enough, that's going to be a lot of money coming out of your pocket, right? That's not going to investing or, building you wealth. So, and it says at the end, unfortunately, there's a world of bad financial advice out there, but these are 3 tips you really don't want to follow. And I actually agree with all these 3. There's probably some nuances to some of the 3, but yeah, for the most part, I agree with everything they're saying. So number 1, you can never have too much savings. All debt is bad debt. A credit card balance can help you build credit. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to get on and at least cover some type of financial news article to keep it going. I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So yeah, I was trying to get that going. I was not going to do a live today because I was like, oh, I'm doing all this stuff, but I was like, oh, you know what? Let me just go on and talk about something. But yeah, I'll see you guys Monday when we do the Monday Market Monday update, and we'll see what's going up or what's going down in the markets. But take care. Have a good Friday.